Good morning, students. So, on June 2nd you are having 11th chemistry exam. So, we can revise whatever you have studied, okay? So, we know in first lesson, so we are having some problems. So, apart from that, some of the definitions also there, isn't it? Starting itself when you are seeing from the first page, it is given element, compound, atomic mass, molar mass, gram equivalent mass. These definitions also given in there. But what we have to do is, so first we have to study the definitions whatever you have studied, and some of the book back questions also given. So these book back questions also you have to study. So some of the equations and problematic questions I will discuss in this class, okay? So first lesson when you are seeing, so the first problem is related with that molecular formula, how to find out the molecular percentage of carbon, hydrogen or oxygen or some other elements. If it is percentage is given, so it's a problem. We have to calculate empirical formula and molecular formula, isn't it? So first problem which is related with how to calculate the molecular mass. So first evaluate yourself question, that is 4 compounds are given, that you know that. So ethanol, formula, lesson 1 in your 11th standard portion, okay? So ethanol, so its formula, if the question is asked, calculate the molecular mass of ethanol. Question is calculate. Not only we can, if it is a 2-mark question, we can expect 2 compounds. So the question will be, they will not give, we cannot expect the formula. So they can give the compound name also. So question may be, so calculate the molecular mass of ethanol or potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate formula KMnO4. So if the question is calculate the molar mass or molecular mass of potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7, or calculate the molecular mass of sulfuric acid. So this is evaluate yourself first question. So first one, so I will give the instruction for this. For calculation of the molecular mass, we have to know the atomic mass of each atom, isn't it? So first one, ethanol, what's the formula? C2H5OH. So here carbon, what's the atomic mass? 12. Hydrogen, atomic mass 1. Oxygen, atomic mass 16, isn't it? So how we have to calculate the molecular masses? If you consider ethanol, so how many carbons are there? 2 carbon. 2 into atomic mass of carbon. So carbon, what's the atomic mass? 12. Okay. So 2 into 12 plus. So what's that? How many hydrogen atoms are there? 6 hydrogen atoms are there. So it is 6 into 1 plus. How many oxygen is there? 1 oxygen, isn't it? That is 1 into. So what's the atomic mass of oxygen? 16. Okay. So when you add this to 24 plus 6 plus 16. So you are getting 46, isn't it? So like this, for each molecule you can calculate the molecular mass of the compound. Okay. So here you know that potassium atomic mass is 39. So potassium 39 plus. So how many Mn is there? 1 manganese, isn't it? So manganese, its atomic mass is 55 plus 4 into. So oxygen, it is 16, isn't it? So 4 into 16 and you will get 158 as the answer. Okay. So like this you can calculate for potassium dichromate also. So 2 potassium atoms are there. So 2 into potassium atomic mass is 39 plus 2 into chromium atomic mass is 51 plus 7 into atomic mass of oxygen. Oxygen it is 16. Okay. So when you are calculating, you can get the molecular mass of potassium dichromate. So next, when you are seeing sulfuric acid. So this sulfuric acid is important. So when the question is asked, that is calculate the gram equivalent mass of sulfuric acid. So there also we need to calculate the molecular mass, because gram equivalent mass formula is gram equivalent mass is equal to molar mass or molecular mass of that particular compound divided by. So if it is acid, you have to write basicity. If it is a base, divided by acidity. So we can calculate using this formula, isn't it? So for that also we in book inside question it is given calculation of gram equivalent mass of molecular mass. Here we are studying only about molecular mass. Okay. So sulfuric acid formula is H2SO4. So how we can calculate the molecular mass? So it is, so if we are considering H2SO4, how many hydrogen atoms are there, students? 2 hydrogen atoms. So 2 into, so what's the atomic mass of hydrogen? It is 1. So this 1 plus, so sulfur. Sulfur, what's the atomic mass? It is 32 plus, how many oxygen atoms are there? 4 oxygen atoms are there. So 4 into 16. When you are after multiplying, when you add the numbers, you will get 98. Is it clear, students? So when you start the first lesson, so you have to study the definitions first. So in first page itself, when you have started, it is given element, compound definitions are given, then examples are given, then afterwards in the next page when you are seeing atomic mass, then molecular mass, gram atomic mass, so these definitions also given. So after that it is given, so how, so we can from the first lesson we can expect the problematic question, isn't it? So one of the problematic question is this, that is, so they can give the maybe formula or name of the compound. In evaluate yourself, it is given name of the compound, isn't it? So if the name of the compound is given, means what you have to write? First you have to write the formula. So after writing the formula, so you should know the atomic mass of each element present in that formula. So if you have the clear idea about that atomic mass, then we can write the molecular mass, or we can calculate the molecular mass of that particular compound. Is it clear? So molecular mass till that page. So when I am teaching and you are having 11th book with you, so keep the book near to you and turn the page, and when you are seeing, so it is useful for you. Okay. So revision during not only problem, along with that you have to study the questions whatever we have marked already, and whatever we have make you to study some of the questions, and that questions also you have to revise. Okay. So first part problematic, this part is over. So next part it is given, so how to calculate the number of moles, isn't it? So one of the evaluate yourself question, that is calculate the number of moles of atoms present in 9 gram of ethane. Number of moles, okay. So that it is given, weight is 9 gram. How many moles are present in 9 gram of ethane? Okay. So we have to calculate the number of moles. So for calculating the number of moles, formula is so it is given mass divided by molar mass for calculating the number of moles. So what's the formula? It is mass divided by molar mass. So we have to, mass it is given as 9 gram. So we have to calculate the molar mass, isn't it? For calculating the molar mass, name of the compound is given. Then what we have to do? We have to write the formula of that particular compound, isn't it? Ethane. Ethane formula, it is C2 H6. Its formula is C2H6. Then how we can calculate the molar mass? Molar mass is equal to, so how many carbon atoms are there? 2 carbon atoms are there. So 2 into, what's the atomic mass of carbon? It is 12 plus, how many hydrogen atoms are there? 6 hydrogen atoms are there. So 6 into, for atomic mass of hydrogen it is 1, isn't it? So 1. So which is equal to, so it is 30, isn't it? So we have calculated molar mass is equal to 30. So we know the mass 9 and molar mass 30. Then how we can calculate the number of moles? Substitute the values in this equation. So number of moles is equal to mass 9 divided by 30. So this 0.3 moles. So if they ask the question for maybe some other compound and maybe mass value they can change, instead of 9 gram they can give some other value. So anyhow you can use this formula. What's the formula? That is number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. Is it clear, students? So next, so you know that one more it is given, that is empirical formula and how to calculate molecular formula. Such type of problems also we can discuss. It is given book as a, with the solution some of the questions are given, but in additional also some book back questions also there, isn't it? So for all the questions we have given the answers. You can refer your note or book or from the guide. So first question for your idea, otherwise for revising. So I will give the first question to you. Okay. So how to calculate if empirical formula of a particular compound. So the basic idea, can you remember that? So with the tabular column we used to write one question, isn't it? So after a gap nearly 30 or 40 days you are repeating. So when you see the book you can recall it. Okay. So see here as a tabular column, that's the calculation of empirical formula of a particular compound. So see here, students. So particular one question I am going to give. So we have to calculate the empirical formula of the compound. The data given is 32% of carbon. Okay. So 32% carbon, 4% hydrogen, and 64% oxygen it is given. Okay. So question is calculate the empirical formula of the compound. The elements are given in percentage. Carbon it is given 32%, 4% hydrogen, 64% oxygen. Is it clear? So what we have to calculate? Empirical formula. To find out the empirical formula, so we have studied as a tabular column form. Can you remember? So first boxes. So here what we have to write? That is element. Okay. So next box we have to write percentage. Next box what you have to write? Atomic mass. So in next box what you have to write? Relative number of moles. In next box, simplest ratio and simplest ratio in whole numbers. Okay. Is it clear? So, can you remember it? So, whatever you have studied already, that is first box, first box you have to write element, percentage, atomic mass, relative number of moles, simplest ratio in whole numbers. Okay. So, next. So, what are the data are given here? So, we have to write from there. So, first element, what are the elements? Here in this problem, 3 elements are given. So, if they have asked some other problem, so we can expect one more element or some other elements also we can expect. So, first one, carbon. So, 3 elements, isn't it? That is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. So, once again I am repeating the heading of each box, that is element, percentage, atomic mass, relative number of moles, simplest ratio in whole numbers. Okay. So, see here first 3 data is given, that is one is carbon, 3 elements are there, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So, we have entered in first box, isn't it? In second box, percentage also you can copy down from the problem, isn't it? So, that is percentage, carbon percentage it is given as 32. Next, hydrogen percentage is given as 4. Oxygen it is given 64. So, this also we have entered from the problem. Okay. So, next step, that is atomic mass. So, this also in previous pages. So, this atomic mass explanation, its values, everything we are familiar with that, isn't it? So, if this 3 elements are, it is simplest one, that is carbon, its atomic mass is 12. Hydrogen, its atomic mass is 1. Oxygen, its atomic mass is 60. Is it clear? So, next, relative number of moles. Okay. So, relative number of moles, how we used to calculate, that is percentage divided by atomic mass, it will give the value of relative number of moles, isn't it? So, here carbon 32 divided by 12. Is it clear? So, here 4 divided by 1. So, this one 64 divided by 60. Is it clear, students? So, what we have done, that is relative number of moles will be calculated. That is, so what we have to do? So, this percentage divided by atomic mass value, it will give the relative number of moles. Is it clear, students? So, what we have to do is, we have to divide this and afterwards we have to find the answer. That is here. So, easily we can write that is 4. So, here also we can 64 divided by 16. We can write this as 4 and here 32 divided by 12. This value will be 2.66. Okay. Relative number of moles we have calculated. So, next what we have to do? We have to find the simplest ratio value, isn't it? So, simplest ratio value. So, these values should be entered here. 4. So, here also 4. Isn't it? So, what we have to do? So, these values divided by, so among this 3 value which is the smallest one, so with that value should be taken, otherwise this number should be divided by the number, so of relative number of moles. Among that relative number of moles, which is the smallest one, that is 2.66. So divided by 2.66. So here also divided by 2.66. Here also divided by 2.66. So after dividing, here 1, here we will get 1.5 and here 1.5. So simplest ratio, it should be given as a whole number, isn't it? So two fractions are there. So to convert it, so all these numbers should be multiplied by 2. So simplest ratio you will get 2, 3. So finally you can write empirical formula of the particular compound. Carbon, it is last box, we have got the number 2, isn't it? So that is C2. And hydrogen, the last box we got the number 3. So it must be 3. Oxygen, the last box we got, it is 3. So O. Is it clear? So this is the way of calculating empirical formula of a compound. Is it clear? So once again I am revising. Question will be calculate the empirical formula of the compound. So given that maybe 32% of carbon, 4% of hydrogen and 64% of oxygen. As one of the example it is given. So other examples also there. So you can practice that questions also. So first, as a tabular column form, we have to frame it, isn't it? For find out the empirical formula. So first box it is given element. Second box it is given percentage. So we have to write. Third box we have to write atomic mass. Next box relative number of moles. Simplest ratio in whole numbers. So first two boxes we can enter from the question itself. Then third box, that is atomic mass. So we used to familiar in previous pages itself, isn't it? That is carbon 12, hydrogen 1, oxygen 16. So next box it is relative number of moles. How we have to find out this value? That is percentage divided by relative, percentage divided by atomic mass. Okay. So percentage divided by atomic mass. So each which will give answer. Here we got 2.66. Here 4 and here 4 also we got, isn't it? So next box, that is simplest ratio. How we have to find out is, so in numerator we have to take this relative, in each box we got a value, isn't it? This relative number of moles value should be taken in the same box. Okay, simplest ratio as numerator. In denominator what we have to do is, so among these three values, we no need of taking this or this box. So among these three values, so which is the smallest number? This smallest number should be taken as a denominator. Okay, for all these three compounds. Okay, so same 2.66, here also 2.66, 2.66. Okay, same denominator. So next, after dividing, you are getting a number. So this number, if it is a whole number, no problem. So in the next box also same value we can enter. So here these two numbers we got in fraction, isn't it? So this number should be multiplied by a particular number, so that this fractional values should be changed as a whole number. So we got this simplest ratio in whole numbers also. Then finally answer you have to write. So they will give at least one mark for writing this empirical formula. So final answer, don't forget that you have to write. So empirical formula of the particular compound is, so first carbon, that is 2, C2, hydrogen you are getting 3, so H3, then oxygen you are getting 3, that is 4. Is it clear? So next we can see how to calculate gram equivalent mass of particular compound. So gram equivalent mass and definition for mole. So Avogadro number. So these questions also you have to study. Important questions from the first lesson. Okay. So we have to calculate the gram equivalent mass. So gram equivalent mass calculation. Example, I am going to give sulfuric acid. Okay. So sulfuric acid, we are going to question will be calculate the gram equivalent mass of sulfuric acid. So otherwise gram equivalent mass of potassium hydroxide, gram equivalent mass of potassium permanganate. They can ask. Okay. So here, so first one, it is given as acid, isn't it? So usually if acid is there, the term basicity will be used. If we have taken a base, the acidity is used. So acidity, basicity means here. So basicity that is equal to number of replaceable hydrogen atom. In particular, acid is called as basicity. How many replaceable hydrogen atoms are there in sulfuric acid? That is 2, isn't it? Then what's the basicity of the sulfuric acid? That is 2. Okay. So if we have taken a base, that is maybe potassium hydroxide, okay, or sodium hydroxide. So if acidity is equal to number of replaceable hydroxide ions are called as acidity. How many replaceable hydroxide ions are there? Here 1 and here also 1. So if you are taking calcium hydroxide as an example, so how many replaceable hydroxide ions are there? 2. So acidity of calcium hydroxide is 2. Is it clear? So here we can, the question is, I will explain this gram equivalent mass of sulfuric acid, but for potassium hydroxide and some more example also given. This also you have to study. Okay. So basicity is equal to 2. How we have find out? That is number of replaceable hydrogen atom, that is equal to basicity of the particular acid. So next, so how we can calculate the gram equivalent mass? So gram equivalent mass formula is gram equivalent mass is equal to molar mass divided by basicity. So molar mass calculation already we have learned, isn't it? So that is how we can calculate the molar mass. Formula is H2SO, sulfuric acid. So 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen plus, so this we have finished. Next, sulfur. So how many sulfur atoms are there? 1 sulfur atom. So 1 into atomic mass of sulfur atom, that is 32, plus how many oxygen atoms are there? 4 oxygen atom. So 4 into atomic mass of oxygen is 16 divided by, so what's the basicity of sulfuric acid? 2. Is it clear? So now 2 plus 32 plus 4 into 16, that is 60. So you can get, so what's the answer must be? 98 divided by 2. Isn't it? So which is equal to 49 gram equivalent per mass. Okay, is it clear? So how to calculate the gram equivalent mass? So gram equivalent mass of any compound, that we can calculate from the formula, that is molar mass divided by basicity. So what's the formula? Molar mass divided by basicity for acids. So if it is a base, it is molar mass divided by acidity. Okay. So if it is a salt, it is oxidizing or reducing agent, it is given means, that is molar mass divided by number of electrons gained or lost. That is given as gram equivalent mass. So here I have calculated molar mass divided by basicity value. So finally we are getting the value 49 gram equivalent per minus 1. Is it clear? So next, after this gram equivalent calculation, so you are having in 2-3 pages, that is types of reactions, isn't it? That is combination reaction, decomposition reaction, then disproportionation reaction, so redox reactions, these equations, all these definitions, and along with the equation it is given. So you have marked in your book. So you have to study the definition, and along with that equation also you have to study. Okay. So in first lesson only problematic questions I will discuss in that. Okay. So here next we can see balancing the redox reactions. So what is meant by reduction and oxidation? Reduction and oxidation. So in terms of oxygen we can explain, in terms of hydrogen we can explain, in terms of electrons we can expect, in terms of oxidation number also we can explain the oxidation and reduction, isn't it? So in terms of oxygen, what is meant by oxidation? Addition of oxygen is called as oxidation, removal of oxygen, that is called as reduction. In terms of hydrogen, addition of hydrogen, it is termed as reduction, removal of hydrogen, that is termed as oxidation, isn't it? So in terms of electrons, loss of electrons is oxidation, addition of electrons, that is called as reduction. In terms of oxidation number, if in a reaction, if oxidation number increases, that is called as oxidation. In a reaction, if the element is coming from reactant to product, when it is changing, oxidation number decreases, means such reactions are called as reductions. Is it clear, students? So what we are going to do is, see here how to find out the oxidation number. That also we can expect for 2 marks. For example, so consider H2O. Question will be, so I have underlined oxygen here. Then one more, Cr2O7 2 minus here. Is it? So next time maybe KMnO4. Question will be, so I have given only 3 examples. So some examples also given in the book. You have to refer that also. So see here. So H2O, sometimes they can ask like this also. Calculate the oxidation number of oxygen present in water and hydrogen peroxide. So for such type of questions, so you have to know the formula of the compound also. Water H2O, hydrogen peroxide, it is H2O. Okay, so see here, so first H2O, I have underlined oxygen, isn't it? So to find out the oxidation number, how to find out the oxidation number. Okay, so see here H2O, isn't it? So this underlined element should be taken as X. So see here, first compound, I am going to write like this, that is 2 into first one, answer. So 2 into, so hydrogen, so its value oxidation state is 1 plus X. Because for this element we have to calculate the oxidation number, which is equal to, so is there any charge are given like this, means, so after this equal to symbol we have to write, but here there is no charges given, isn't it? So this should be taken as 0. Okay, then what's X value must be? X is equal to -2. Okay, then what's the oxidation number of oxygen in this compound? That is -2. So for the next compound, Cr2O7 2 minus, isn't it? So for the second compound, so how many Cr is there? That is 2. So 2 into X, that is 2X. Okay, so plus 7 into, so what's the oxidation number of oxygen? That is -2. 7 into -2, which is equal to, so charge is given, that is -2. So which is equal to -2. So 2X minus 14 is equal to -2. So 2X is equal to, when you are taking here, that is 14 minus 2, It is equal to 12, isn't it? So x equal to 12 divided by 2, we are getting 6. So oxidation state of chromium in dichromate ion is plus 6. 6. Is it clear, students? So next, KMnO4. The same way you can calculate, that is for the third compound. So Mn we have underlined, isn't it? This K oxidation state is 1. So for Mn you have to take as x plus 4 into oxidation state of oxygen is minus 2, which is equal, there is no charge, so it should be taken as 0. So 1 plus x minus 8 is equal to 0. So x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x will get the value plus. Is it clear? So this is the way of find out how to, otherwise we can find out the oxidation number of the underlying element. Have you understand? So I have given only 3 problems. Some other problem also given in the book. So we have to study, otherwise we have exercise that questions also. So next type of question is how to balance the equation using oxidation number method and ion electron method. The 2 methods are there. What are the methods? That is oxidation number method and ion electron method, balancing equations. So I will give one example, that is KMnO4 plus FeSO4 plus H2SO4 gives K2SO4 plus Fe2SO4 thrice plus MnSO4 plus H2O. So this is the question. Okay, question they will give. So that question is given KMnO4 plus FeSO4 plus H2SO4, that gives K2SO4 plus Fe2SO4 thrice plus MnSO4 plus H2O. So question is how to balance the equation using oxidation number method. Oxidation number method. Okay. So first, so we have to find out the element which is getting oxidized and which is getting reduced. That's the first step. Okay. So when you are seeing the equation, so here we have to find out the oxidation state of Mn here. Here we have to find out the oxidation state of Fe. The same the right side also, here and here. So easily we can write SO4 sulfate ion, it is minus 2. Then automatically this Fe will be getting plus 2. So here it is plus 2 and automatically here also plus 2. Okay. So next here Fe, that is we can write, how we have to calculate this. So 2x plus 3 into minus 2 is equal to 0. So we are getting 2x minus 6 equal to 0. So x equal to 6 by 2, that is plus 3, isn't it? So here Fe in plus 3 oxidation state. Is it clear? So next here Mn 1 plus x plus 4 into minus 2. Okay. So K1, then Mn x we have to find out. This 4 into oxidation state of oxygen is, that is minus 2, is equal to 0. That 1 plus x minus 8 is equal to 0. So here x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x equal to plus 7. So here also plus 7. Is it clear? So now what we have to do is, we have to write, so which element getting oxidation, otherwise which, when this KMnO4, when it is converted into MnSO4, whether Mn an oxidation reaction or reduction reaction. Here also when FeSO4 is converted into Fe to SO4 thrice, so it is oxidation or reduction reaction. So how we can, already I have said the definition for oxidation and reduction, isn't it? So in terms of oxidation number, how we can define oxidation and reduction? So if oxidation number is increases, it is example for oxidation reaction. If oxidation number decreases, means it is an example for reduction reaction. See here. Plus 7 in KMnO4, Mn is in the oxidation state of plus 7. So here Mn is in the oxidation state of plus 2. So it has increased or decreased? It has decreased, isn't it? So it's an example for reduction reaction. Reduction. Okay. So next, here Fe in plus 2 oxidation state. We'll write it neatly. Plus 2. So plus 2, here Fe in plus 3, isn't it? So oxidation number increases. So this reaction is oxidation. This is the first step. For balancing any equation, so using this oxidation number method, so we have to find out which is oxidation reaction and which is reduction reaction. Is it clear? Okay. So next, what we have to do is, so how much difference in electrons? So when Fe is converted into Fe to FeSO4, ferrous sulfate, here ferric sulfate, when it is converted, the number of electrons differences, here 2, here 3, then 1 electron, isn't it? So here, when Mn, KMnO4, when Mn converted into MnSO4, the difference in number of electrons must be plus 7 has converted into plus 2, that is 5 electrons, isn't it? So what we have to do is, so this electrons should be multiplied by a number, that is here Fe 1 mole, here Fe has 2 moles, isn't it? So this 2, so I will write here, so here difference in electron is 5 for this KMnO4 and MnSO4. Here difference in electron is 1 electron, 5 electron. Okay, what I have to do? So this 2 number of electrons will be multiplied by a number. That is why we are multiplying means. So here we have used only 1 Fe. Their number of moles of Fe is 2. So this number of moles will be multiplied by this number of electrons. So into 2 and into 2. Is it clear? So then we have to take this value in cross. Okay. So this 2 should be here and 5 into 2, that is 10, isn't it? So this 10 and here 2. So this 10 should be taken here. So can we rewrite the equation again? So see here, we can write like this, that is 10 KMnO4. Okay, so plus 2 plus, so this 10 should be here, so 10 FeSO4, okay, so plus H2SO4, okay, so gives K2SO4. There's no change in the product side, plus Fe2SO4 thrice plus MnSO4 plus H2. So is it clear, students? So next, so what we have to do is, so we have to balance this potassium. Here 2K is there, Here 2 potassium atoms are there. We can leave it. So next Mn, 2 Mn is there, but here only 1 Mn is there, isn't it? So when you are writing in pen, so in between some you have to leave some space and write. Okay, then for you can balance, otherwise without any rubbing you can write. So 2. Why we have written like this? Here reactant side we are having 2 Mn. So here only 1 Mn. Next 10 Fe it is there. Here only 2 Fe. Okay. So here also. So to make this 2 as 10, this 5. Okay. So next we have to balance the sulfur atoms, isn't it? So first we can see right hand side. So here 1 sulfur. Here 3 into 5, isn't it? So that is 50. Here 2. So totally how many sulfur atoms are there? 18 sulfur atoms in product side. Reactant side when you are seeing, here 10 sulfur. So here 8 more sulfur atoms should be there. So when you change this number, the number of iron atoms will be changed that side, isn't it? So don't touch here. So sulfur atoms also present here also, isn't it? So what we can do? So we can change the number of sulfur atoms to this side. Okay. So when you are writing 8 here, so 10 plus 8, 18 sulfur atom in left hand side and 18 sulfur atoms in right hand side also. So this balanced. So next what we have to do? Hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms. So when you are seeing hydrogen atom, here 2 into 8, 16 hydrogen atoms are there. But in right hand side only 2 hydrogen atoms. So how we can change? So this will be, we can write like this, 8H2O. So hydrogen atoms also balanced. So only we have to check this oxygen atom, isn't it? So when you see here 2 into 4, 8. Here 40. Here 32. So totally 8. Isn't it? So right hand side when you check 4. Here that is 60. 5 into 12. So next here 2 into 4, 8. So here 8. So when you are adding, it must be 64. So oxygen atoms automatically it gets balanced. Is it clear, student? So when you see this equation, so this equation is the balanced one. Okay, is it clear? So question will be, how will you balance? Otherwise balance the following equation using oxidation number method. So what is the first step? First step what you have to do is, so we have to find out the element which is getting oxidized and which is getting reduced. Depending upon that oxidation and reduction we have to mark it like this. So after marking what we have to do? So we have to find out the number of electrons difference. So when you are seeing this Mn here plus 7, that's it plus 2. Number of electrons difference is 5. So here when Fe2 plus, here Fe3 plus, that difference is 1 electron, isn't it? So afterwards we have multiplied by 2. Why? So here number of moles of iron is 1. So that's in product say number of moles is 2. So we have multiplied by 2. Then this number should be taken across. Then we have written like this. So afterwards, so we have checked the metals K, Mn, Fe. Then we have written that 2 there. Then afterwards we have balanced the hydrogen atom. Then next oxygen atoms also balanced. Is it clear? So next we can see one more method of balancing equation, that is ion electron method. Okay. So what's the next method? How to balance the equation using ion electron method. I'll give the example. So with this we can finish the first lesson for revision. Okay. So starting itself, atomic mass, molecular mass, gram atomic mass, gram equivalent mass, next mole, Avogadro number, types of redox reactions limiting reagent, stoichiometry definition. These definition also you have to study. Along with that, I have discussed some of the problem, isn't it? So how to calculate the molecular mass, this and all by using this atomic mass value. If you have seen once, you can attend the question, easy questions. Then how to calculate the number of moles, then oxidation number, maybe two compounds are given. So if the particular element is underlined, you can find out the oxidation number easily. Then afterwards, how to calculate the empirical formula, okay, by using that box. Next we have seen balancing the equation using oxidation number method we have seen. So next we can see how to balance the equation using ion electron method. So in this question, if the balancing is asked in ionic form, equation they used to give, okay. So I'll write the question there. MnO4 minus plus Fe2 plus H plus, and H plus denotes the sulfuric acid. I have written as KMnO4, FeSO4, here H2SO4. So it is giving Mn has converted into Mn2 plus, here Fe in 3 plus oxidation state, isn't it, plus H2O. So here also we have to note what is oxidation and what is reduction reaction. So here MnO4, here Mn is in plus 7 oxidation state, isn't it? So this plus 7 oxidation state of Mn, here it is converted Mn2 plus, that is oxidation number decreases. That means we can note this equation as reduction reaction. So otherwise we can write here, okay. So reduction reaction, we can mark as equation number 1. That is MnO4 minus has converted into Mn2 plus. Here it is in plus 7 oxidation state. Here it is in plus 2 oxidation state. So here Fe2 plus. So this is reduction reaction. Why we have called this as reduction reaction? That is oxidation number, it has reduced, decreases, isn't it? So in terms of electron, how we can explain that reduction is addition of, otherwise addition of electron. Removal of electron is called, loss of electron is called as oxidation. So addition of electron, that is called as reduction. So here how many electrons gained by this permanganate ion? That is 5 electrons. The MnO4 minus, by difference in electron is 5, already we have seen, isn't it? So this MnO4 minus, after gain this 5 electron, it has converted into Mn2 plus. This is the way of writing reduction reaction. So with this electrons we have to write the reduction. So next we have marked this Fe2 plus has converted into Fe3 plus. So that is called as oxidation reaction, isn't it? So this oxidation reaction we can write like this. Oxidation. So how we can write? So Fe2 plus has converted into Fe3 plus. Fe2 plus by the removal, otherwise by losing 1 electron, it has converted into Fe3 plus, oxidation reaction. So two equations, reduction reaction and oxidation reaction we have written, isn't it? So this we can mark as equation 1 and this we can mark as equation 2. Is it clear? So next, so we have to balance the number of electrons to be equal in both equations. So here 5 electrons are there, here only 1 electron. What we can do to equalize the number of electrons? So this equation we can multiply by 5. So equation 2 should be multiplied by 5. So we can write like this: 5 Fe2 plus gives 5 Fe3 plus how many electrons? 5 electron. Is it clear? So what we have done? The second equation, it is number of electrons deviation is there. So we have multiplied by number 5. Okay. So now when you see this two equation, so here only Fe atoms are there. No need of balancing the number of moles. But when you consider the first equation, Mn, Mn, but here one more oxygen atom is there, isn't it? So this oxygen atom, how to balance the right hand side is, if 4 oxygen is there, means 4 water molecules should be added to the product side. Okay. So I can rewrite the equation 1. Okay. So rewrite equation 1. So how we can write, because 4 oxygen atoms are excess in left hand side, reactant side. So it should be balanced in the right hand side. How we can balance the oxygen atom? By adding 4 water molecules. So MnO4 minus plus 5 electron gives Mn2 plus 4 water molecule. 4 water molecule. Is it clear? So next 4 oxygen atoms are balanced. But when you are seeing again equation, so here hydrogen atoms are there. This side there is no hydrogen atom. So to balance that hydrogen atom, this hydrogen atom should be write as a H plus ions in the left hand side.